Lawmakers are working on legislation to regulate animal training centers that claim to rehabilitate aggressive dogs. This comes after a 13 News Now investigation into the mauling of a 90-year-old woman. A pit bull named Blue attacked the grandmother in Virginia Beach earlier this year. Our reporter Jacqueline Lee has been covering the story since it broke.
In my last report, I met with former employees who said the dog had minimal training before being adopted out. This time, I took a closer look at the laws or lack thereof and asked lawmakers, how can the Commonwealth make sure nothing like this happens again?
She wakes up in the middle of the night, sees this dog killing her mother in her sleep.
Lawyer Irv Blank is talking about his client, Linda Patterson. Blank said these were the physical scars left behind after she tried to stop Blue the pit bull from attacking her mother.
I mean, it's horrible. It is horrible.
While it's been half a year since the attack, the emotional scars haven't faded.
She saw her mother disemboweled virtually, and then her mother's arm had to be amputated, and her mother died. And the room was just covered with blood. So it's really, she's not doing well.
Forever Home's Rehabilitation Center, the place that adopted out Blue, says it rehabilitates aggressive dogs before adopting them out. But in our last investigation, former employees said that wasn't always the case.
Sometimes they would keep the dog for, a week and turn around and adopt it right back out. With no training. So
13 News Now went to the State Department of Agriculture, which oversees animal control and safety laws. Is there any sort of regulation to make sure that, yes, these dogs were rehabilitated before released to the public?
I am not aware of any such regulation to check on that, because rehabbers are not inspected the way that a pound or a shelter would be.
Since Blue originally came from New York, where it bit a child, we also wanted to know what laws are in place for dogs shipped across state lines. Lindholm said out-of-state dogs only need a health certificate saying the animal was checked out by a vet and a rabies shot.
But other than that, there really are no laws or regulations governing importation of animals to Virginia.
Which means dogs with bite histories, like Blue, can be shipped into Virginia and adopted out to unknowing families. There's no agency regulating centers that rehabilitate aggressive dogs, meaning there's nothing to protect consumers.
Being a lawmaker like I am, I don't ever want to see this happen again. So, thank you for bringing it to my attention, and we're going to fix this.
I took our findings to State Delegate Barry Knight, who is chairman of the subcommittee that hears animal legislation.
If I look and see someone brings this to me, then we're going to vet some legislation to keep this from happening again.
State Senator Bill DeSteph said he's tackling that right now.
But in this instance, clearly we have a loophole, or we have an issue that's not being addressed properly.
DeSteph made it clear that the proper training of aggressive dogs is an area state laws do not cover.
I don't know what agency would oversee a rehabilitation center. I don't know if it's Department of Ag, if it's Natural Resources. I'm not sure where that would fall. Under state police, I have no idea.
Senator DeSteph said his team is doing research and a bill will be presented to the General Assembly in January. Until then, the Patterson family will be waiting.
So how they doing? They're not doing well. They're doing horrible. Their life has been turned inside out for really no reason. That's the worst part about it. This should never have happened.
I reached out to the lawyer for Forever Homes to comment in response to this piece. He said, given the pending litigation, he directed me to the previous statement he sent in our last investigation. That statement says, Forever Homes again extends its condolences to the loved ones of Miss Colvin. While we offer our deepest sympathy to those impacted by this tragic event, we remain confident that once the legal process has run its course, Forever Homes will be fully exonerated of any allegations of wrongdoing. In studio, Jacqueline Lee, 13 News Now.